What's going on? Welcome back to 𝗪𝗧𝗛𝗧 Journey. So today I want to talk to you on ChargePoint. Pretty exciting day. I want to go over some of the data points, what's really driving it higher, and where things might be going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate it. And with that said, let's get right to it. So ChargePoint is up 6.5%, a fair amount of volume. So 13.1 million shares being traded, 15.1 is the average. Unfortunately, a lot of the volume being done today is algorithmic trading because these are some of the transactions that have occurred on the secondary market above $100,000. So big money hasn't necessarily been getting into ChargePoint over the long period. Rather, it's just been a lot of algorithmic trading. I think that's been more so the case for 2024 for a lot of growth stocks and spec plays. So in reality, nothing wrong with that, especially considering with the fear and greed index at 79, the market does naturally want to go up. So the AI is just kind of following suit. And as I've said over the last couple of videos, ChargePoint's technicals were getting primed and ready to break out to pretty much where we are at. In fact, I did say that I was going to go to the $2.30 range in the short term, and here we are. So in reality, I think there still is a lot more room for ChargePoint to go up. There hasn't been any recent news regarding ChargePoint, no SEC filings. So it's just been coasting and piggybacking off of the broader market's optimism. But then again, absolutely nothing wrong with that. In the past, the broader market has rallied, ChargePoint was stagnant. So at least it is participating in the broader market. As I've said, big money is going to be scouring the market for value plays, and that's kind of meeting the criteria right now for ChargePoint. There hasn't been any recent ratings. So the last one was done about 11 days ago. That was a buy rating, $4 price target by TD Cowen. Gabriel, who does have a 34% success rating. So once again, take that with a grain of salt. I have also been monitoring a lot of analyst forecasts for the upcoming earnings, whether it be earnings per share or revenue. No real changes for there. And while I'm on Interactive Brokers, I'll go over the new technicals, the Elliott Wave technicals. So right now it does have a pivot point of $1.82. So for as long as ChargePoint is above that, then it is anticipated to continue this momentum to around $2.80 to $2.99. If you're looking for a lot of good compiled information, such as everything I just mentioned, Elliott Wave technicals and analyst ratings, take a look at Interactive Brokers for all of this information to be completely free. Link in the description below and also the comments. Let's talk on shorts for a second. So over the last little bit, shorts have started to return more and more. So today they are returning about 2.07 million shares, 22.05% of the free float is being shorted, and 84.39 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 4.1%. I'm just bringing this up more as a benchmark and an analysis rather than saying that it's a short squeeze play, because I don't see ChargePoint being a short squeeze at all, unless there's some magical like agreement or partnership that is announced. So that is kind of far-fetched. But still, aside from that though, the way I analyze this information, by ChargePoint being very green today and shorts returning some of their shares, it kind of does validate that it's justified. So generally speaking, that is a good thing. On a side note, I just wanted to talk on this for a second. So going back over to Seeking Alpha, they do have a new alpha picks. I have a link to this in the description below and also the comments. So if you are ever struggling to kind of build a portfolio and you kind of want to follow what analysts are doing instead of what Cathie Woods or whatever, you can kind of see what they are doing. So they do announce all of their picks. So their last pick was on February the 1st, and that was Twillo, tickers TWLO. They do have their earnings this week, but overall they are outpacing the S&P. So the S&P is up 32.84% and their portfolio is up 105.6. So highly suggest in clicking on the link in the description below and also the comments and kind of follow along with them. Definitely could be very advantageous if you are struggling with what to invest in and everything else. Plus they do actually do analysis on why they pick stuff that they do and whatever. So definitely suggest in taking advantage of that. Let's move on to options though. So right now about $308,000 in calls being purchased versus 228 in puts. But sentiment-wise, 53% of all the options being done today are bearish. And of the call options that are being purchased though, there is a consensus for it to be above $3 over the next several weeks. So more of a continuation of that momentum, and plus kind of matches with the Elliott Wave technicals like I mentioned. Looking at puts though, it is anticipated for it to be sub $2. So kind of opposite extremes for that. Based on where it is, so at $2.29, it is between this R1 and this R2. So $2.24 is going to be that next strong support. Kind of was breaking past that, so I wouldn't really consider it the line in the sand. $1.94 is going to be that line in the sand. So the very strong support. So you'll want to watch for today this 224 to hold. If it does break that, then anticipate it to trade between this pivot and this R1. But generally speaking, it did have a good momentum to around 237, so a nice run. And that kind of was touching this R2 somewhat, so 242 is going to be the next strong resistance. So baby steps, I do feel that ChargePoint is kind of developing, building a strong foundation, especially with that recent news about restructuring. Like maybe this upcoming earnings will be a little bit more optimistic rather than anything and give very good future guidance. So let me know your thoughts on ChargePoint. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with ChargePoint? And just to quickly give you a overview of this, so pulling up ChargePoint, you do see number of retail investors slowly getting out today, but overall you can kind of see that they have been getting in ever since it looks like the 18th. Stochastic, you do see a nice deviation, so black line above the red showing a bullish sentiment, but it is at 65. So if it does continue to go up to maybe around the 250 range or potentially 260, then you are going to see the technicals get a little bit overbought. So it might have to consolidate in the short term and then try again for a nice further rally, unless there's a good piece of news that does come out. CPI is coming out tomorrow, so that could give a nice boost up in the broader market. So just we'll have to wait and see. So let me know your thoughts on ChargePoint. Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing? And then one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for an account with 𝗪𝗧𝗛𝗏 for $100 at it and you get 5 free stocks. Take advantage of this. The link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.